So we're gonna gussy up French toast today with a little bit of a cherry almond filling. Ooh, stuffed in between 2 pieces of bread. What? When you cut into it, everybody's like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Have you been working on this for days and days? We just started 15 minutes ago. You start with 1 can of a cherry pie filling. Figure out which ones are your favorite because they do taste vastly different. This one's a little bit tart and a little bit sweet and has that nice, like kind of thick cornstarch texture to it. That makes it so you can put it inside the French toast without it like spilling all out. Nice and thick, nice and sweet, but a little bit tart too. We're gonna bump up some flavors, gussy it up with a little bit of orange. So that's about 1/2 of a zest. 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Give that a little stir. And by adding the orange zest and the almond extract, it really makes this from a canned cherry pie filling to something that feels like you made it from scratch. Now let's talk about an egg custard. An egg custard is any kind of egg with some kind of a dairy. 4 eggs, 1/2 cup of almond creamer. The almond creamer is thicker than almond milk. It's also sweet, so you don't have to worry about adding any sugar. I'll just give that a whisk. Take a couple pieces. Into the center, you're gonna put a scoop of your filling. You wanna leave a little edge because that's how you're gonna crimp this bread together. Then you take your other piece of bread, you put it on the top, and then you kind of just pinch. Give it a little crimp all along the edges. And then we're gonna dunk it into our egg mixture. So now it's kind of crimped closed. So let's fry. You wanna go ahead and get your griddle nice and hot. I go low, honestly. You want it to be hot, but you don't want to burn. So you don't want to leave your French toast in the egg mixture for too long, but you also don't want it to be in there for no time at all. So I usually count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per side. Then you lift it up and you let some of that egg mixture run off. So now it goes onto our griddle. Next one, and dunk, and the next one, right? And it goes straight onto our hot griddle, and you cook it on each side for about 3 to 5 minutes. It totally is gonna depend on how hot your griddle is. You don't want it so hot that the outside gets burnt before the interior custard, which is soaked into the bread, is cooked. Because then it's weird because it's raw, and that's gross. If you had to pick for the rest of your life, French toast, pancakes, or waffles, let me know in the comments below. If you had to choose, which one would be yours? And while you're down in the comments, just go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you don't mind. We love creating a community of people who love good food, but wanna keep it a little bit easier. Before I flip, I drop a little dollop of butter onto each piece of French toast so that it has butter on the side. Let's see if this angel is ready. You will feel it, it kind of releases. Oh, is she ready? Okay. Kind of. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Hear the butter sizzle? That's because you put that pat on there. Pat of butter. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna come in and we're gonna do those sides. Just a few seconds per side on each of your edges just to seal them. Smelling good. Okay, I'm gonna drop. The sugar that's in that creamer is actually gonna caramelize. So you're gonna start to smell it. It's gonna be nutty and sweet. And then you put it onto a cooling rack. Looking good. You just use your spatula on the back to make it stable and then flip those edges, hit the sides. This one. It smells so good. I'm gonna garnish this with some deeply toasted almonds that I'm gonna chop up and then dust with powdered sugar. Dry toast these until they're nice and dark. Give those a chop. Because our French toast is so soft, you really want some kind of a texture difference, right? And that's where these like very deeply toasted but roughly chopped almonds come in. They're gonna give you a nice bite to the top of your French toast. And it's time to build our plate. So, 1 piece of French toast. Just put a little pat of butter on the top of it. And then instead of using maple syrup, we're gonna use some powdered sugar. I like to make it look like it really snowed, like you're not going to school tomorrow snowed, right? And then for our texture, we go right across the top with those almonds. So very simple, like very elegant, very monochromatic. It looks like, oh, no big deal, not a problem. It's just French toast. Or is it? What? Look in there, y'all. Look at that. Ah! Cherry almond orange stuffed French toast. Let's try it. Don't mind if I do. Oh yeah. As the butter starts to melt, it mixes with the powdered sugar and makes almost like a butter sugar syrup. But remember, you don't need too much because the inside is already filled with that delicious little cherry filling. And the creamer that we use in our egg mixture was sweetened. That orange zest and the almond extract really gussied up that pie filling, and now it tastes like it's made from scratch. It's stuffed in the center of this sweet, tender bread, and then we have that gorgeous flavor, the sweetness, the nuttiness from that almond creamer that we put into our egg custard. The deeply toasted almonds on the top give it a gorgeous little textural crunch, which is a really nice contrast to the silkiness of that pie filling. Delightful. I'd say I outdid myself, but I really didn't. This was such an easy recipe. If you haven't watched our other Gussied Up videos, make sure to go back and watch them and let me know which one's your favorite. You all, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. I've got to eat my French toast. We're done.